got three guys.
Okay, we're gonna get started.
Did you check out my website?
What is it?
John R. Draper.
John R. Draper.
Yeah.
We are technically recording and we are technically streaming live. I understand it's a little bit chaotic. Appreciate the patience of everybody. Just want to start off by saying thank you. This is the Yes California first attempt at a physical meeting. We usually do debates with gubernatorial candidates virtually. In front of you, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candidates who came out to speak to you. Actually, let me sit here. The interesting thing about that is that there's 41 candidates running in the recall election. 46, sorry, my bad. There's 46 candidates running in the recall election. 46 people may be the next governor of California. The number 2 most important issue to Californians, according to all surveys, the homeless. The first one, COVID. I think that makes sense. So when we look at the issues that Californians care about, according to every poll in California over the last 3 years, COVID, homelessness, wildfires, and then everything else is an 18% drop. So Californians care about COVID, they care about homelessness, they care about wildfires, and then everything else is a mild second consideration. Gavin Newsom has been polling. And when you look at the polls, they're going to say a majority of the public likes him. Perhaps that's true. But at Yes California, we looked at those polls and we found out additional numbers that were not widely reported in the news. 18% of Californians think Gavin Newsom's doing a good job on homelessness. That means 82% of Californians over the last 2 years do not think your governor's doing a good job on homelessness and think he's failing. Those are the same polls that say a majority likes him. So you're going to see in the news going, a majority of Californians like Gavin Newsom. Okay. What they're not reporting is that 80% of you and your fellow citizens think he's doing a piss poor job on homelessness. Recently, we found out this week, 2 days ago, that in fact, if any of you became homeless during COVID-19, it was because of Gavin Newsom. He mismanaged billions of dollars of COVID-19 relief funds to keep people from going homeless. So he's already doing horrible on homeless. 80% think that, even the people who like him. And in the last 48 hours, we have found from investigative reporting that he mismanaged billions of dollars, which allowed hundreds of thousands of people to go homeless during COVID-19. Gavin Newsom has never been filmed meeting with homeless people to talk about his plans for homeless. We have investigated every single of the 46 candidates who might be your next governor. None of them, not one candidate, including Larry Elders, Cox, Jenner, Newsom, none of them have had a meeting with the homeless to talk about their homeless plan when that is the second most important issue. All of them have met with people talking about COVID-19, but they dropped off the radar when it came to talking about homelessness and meeting with homeless people. We directly challenged Kevin Paffrath, who has a plan to round all of you up into military camps and have the police force you off the streets against your will and place you into these camps where you are concentrated. Another word for that is a military concentration camp, last seen in 1943. We asked Mr. Paffrath to come to this meeting. We have him on video saying he's aware. Do you see Mr. Paffrath here?
No.
Okay. He has a plan for homelessness, and he can't meet with the homeless. He's running on homelessness, and he cannot meet with the homeless. He's had one meeting, and I confronted him, and I said, have you met with the homeless? He goes, I met with 3 of them. No, he said, I did meet them. He had a rally of 20 people, and 3 individuals out of 20 were homeless and came up to him one-on-one. He has never had a meeting where the majority of the people in the room were the unhoused, and he explained his plan. But he's not alone. Your governor never did that. Caitlyn Jenner never did that. John Cox never did that. Doug Osee never did that. Kevin Kiley never did that.
Trump never did.
Trump never did that, but we don't like Trump because we're Californians. So,
Don't speak for everybody.
hey, fair enough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the 25% of Californians who are a clear statistical minority that voted for Trump. I apologize.
They're saying COVID and homelessness are the biggest issues.
Yeah.
What about drug addiction?
It really
That's one of the biggest.
It ties into it. It ties into
one of the
homelessness.
largest killers out here right now.
you're right. You're right.
And it's actually higher than COVID in California.
Yeah.
You're right, and that's wrapped up.
That's not out there. Why is nobody talking about that?
It's well, we're going to let the candidates answer. They're going to give their plan on homelessness directly to you. You have the opportunity to ask them questions and about the plan, and you're going to hear from a variety. Yes, ma'am.
You ain't on drugs, you ain't on drugs. I do drugs.
Oh, we have LaQuinta set up this event. LaQuinta Reynolds helped set up this event. LaQuinta Reynolds is highly educated, has 2 master's degrees, worked at college, isn't on drugs, takes care of her kid, and as I say as a Latino, works like a Mexican. That means you work really damn hard, and she's homeless. She completely defies every single stereotype they have about homeless, and yet she's here. So we're going to have her. There she is right there.
That's my friend.
Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna have the candidates speak. They're gonna present their plans. Yes, ma'am.
That's my friend right there.
Yep.
Some of these people are homeless because they choose to be.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when I was homeless, I got off the street and I went into a rehab just to get off the street. It turned out to be a good thing because I was able to give advice to some of the people that were in there. And I told them, don't play with this. If you ain't through, you the rehab alone. Get through. You know, be sick and tired of being said hurt. But I was homeless and I was out here in a tent in this type of weather. I'm gonna find me a place. You gotta put it in your head. Once it's in your head, you're gonna get out the street. But you can't make somebody, you can't lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink.
That's so. What I'm gonna ask is that you keep that passion. You listen to these people say their plan, and if they ain't ticking on the things you think they should, that's when you say, "Hey, I got a problem with your plan. You're saying X, Y. That's probably not going to work." You are the subject matter experts, not these people. These people are policy experts, but they do not understand this issue as well as you do. So they are here to present their plan to you. Now, you may not like all of their plans. You may hear some things you don't like, but I'd like all of you to please be nice and appreciative to these people. There are 46 candidates. 4 bothered to show up anywhere in California and speak to the homeless. I think that says something. I think they deserve your respect.
5.
I didn't say easy questions.
5.
45. 5.
No, 5 candidates showed up.
5 candidates showed up out of 46.
46.
Yeah. Very few even bothered. And like I said, nobody else is going on video. Nobody else is doing it. So I'm going to shut up. Quinn's going to talk for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to bring them in an assembly line. You'll hear their plans. If you hear anything you don't like, politely, we're going to put the mic in front of you and you can go, "Hey, you said X, Y. I don't think that's going to work." How would you know? I would know. Quinn, let's have you come on up. I know Quinn just went through some very difficult times, and we deeply appreciate
It was girls
her.
going wild in AV.
Don't encourage the teenage boys. LaQuinta Reynolds helped organize this with Yes California. We literally wouldn't be here without her. Quinn, could you say?
We're gonna give her
what's
a round
going
of
on?
applause because she's an amazing human. She cares about all of you.
I do. I care about you because I'm also homeless. I'm a single mother. I've been out here 3 years. And I know some of you been out. I met a guy who's been out here since 2008, 2003. I wanted the event to be here deliberately because if anything that I get out of this is to humble people. because we're all neighbors, we're all mothers, we're all fathers, we're human, and we've lost sight of humanity. And as you know, I've been passing out flyers. I start my day at 5 in the morning. I don't retire till 11 o'clock at night. And that's not even retiring. I'm returning emails things I didn't get to during the day because I'm out here looking for you, conversation, conversing with you, hearing your stories, crying with you. So I wanted this platform here because a lot of people don't think that their votes matter, or that we matter for that matter. And we put people in these positions, we're giving them that power and that control over us, all of us. That's the difference. And I can't promise change today, but like I said earlier, if Martin Luther King had that mentality, oh, they're not going to listen to us, what's the point? None of us would be here today. None of us would have these rights and these freedoms to vote. Women to vote. So I do have a couple of things I want to share with you just quickly. He already covered most of it as far as just the courteous and be respectful. I want to allow everyone here to ask questions because this is for all of us.
I want to say, God bless the homeless. God bless. I hope they stay healthy and well, and I hope they get home.
And God bless you, ma'am.
And off the drugs.
God bless you too.
Okay, God
And it will happen. But it takes we're all in this together.
bless.
All of us. So everybody say, well, that's not my problem. Yes, it is. Because then when their families get hurt by a homeless person, then they blame all homeless people. This could be preventative. So I want to give everybody a heads up to most of the people out here that don't have phones. They're cut off from the world. So our mayor, Garcetti, and I brought this because I don't want to misquote anything and get a lawsuit slapped on me. So effective today, we can no longer sit and lay and sleep in public areas. We can't be within 500 feet of businesses, public parks, and schools. Yes.
And I want to, I'm working at saving support for the homeless. I help with the food and I do the table. Amen.
Amen. So his ordinance is also, he claims that it's not to punish us, but it's to protect the citizens. I mean, last I checked, I was a citizen, or, a member of the community, but we are not allowed to, it's a crime, actually, he says it's a crime to sit, lie, sleep, or set up encampments within 1,000 feet, or on a street sidewalk, or a public right-of-way. So, sorry.
The total and the real definition of homeless.
That's their job. That's their job to answer that.
I'm your friend. You know me. Hey, you know where I'm staying at. You saying I can't stay here in my bed?
It's a public
public area.
place. It's a public area.
The mayor has criminalized it.
It's a crime.
It's a crime.
It's a
crime now.
crime. Crime.
That's in the city of LA.
City of LA. Yes.
City of LA.
We're still LA County though, but up there. Yeah.
The county won't enforce it. They've already been sued several times because of it.
So yeah, civil rights.
Yeah.
I can't even hear her.
We can no longer sleep in the car.
You can't sleep in your car?
Well, he's saying the ordinance that it goes in effect today. It doesn't mention vehicles. It's just saying that as far as public areas within 500.
Kids and stuff.
Yes, we can't sit, lie, or sleep. Set up encampments within 1,000 feet. Public schools, the parks, for public safety.
Okay.
So if you find some hidden areas, but I don't want to quote that. Like I said, I'm not the one that's making this a crime, obviously. Mm-hmm. But the information, I just Googled it. I've been following the news on homelessness, tracking that information, and just came across that. I just wanted to share that because a lot of them don't have cell phones or have access to know that information. So that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
He's basically sweeping the problem under the rug by just moving it.
His whole idea is if you don't see homeless people, then there's no problem. When that doesn't actually solve anything. All right.
Yes. So I'm gonna let you guys have the floor.
All right. So who wants to start?
Start down there. Give him the
Okay.
mic. Tell us your homelessness.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's David Hillberg. I'm running for governor because I want to throw those people in power in jail for what they've done to the state. Homelessness, vagrancy, and all those other problems, they're as old as the Bible is. And it's a societal problem where if you look at the society today, they've basically abandoned each other and made everything a throwaway, including people. And it's a sad thing. My plan is basically similar to every other plan that everybody's been talking about. You find the criminals that they've released out into the streets, the 69,000 of them, and you throw them back in jail. Those that are in need of psychological assistance, they need to be taken to psychological facilities, which we don't have because they got rid of them way back in the 80s. We have the state of California has more buildings and property that they are not using. They have empty buildings. They have empty lots. And what would it cost the state to actually activate those buildings and repurpose them to help the citizens for a hand up? You know, everybody talks about what's in it for me. Well, if you look at the federal government, they have been bending over backwards to give working people money for not working. Yet, you know, are there jobs programs out there for the homeless to go in a barracks-like facility where they can get off the streets, learn a trade, build an income for themselves, and actually find a place to live? I mean, this is a multifaceted problem where every person has a different need, a different gift, and a different want that they are in need of. Some are drug addicted, some are psychologically stunted because everybody says no to them so many times that they finally give up and they go, I'm nothing. This is my station in life, and that's where I'm going to be. Well, that's bullshit. I think people should be up. Yes, ma'am.
They are allowing 2,000 Afghanistan to come in here, and they're going to house them. Why we can't house them? Don't you think
That's right.
a problem already without bringing in more?
They already have the entire fairgrounds in LA County are inundated with illegal immigrant children brought over from the southern border where they should have stayed on the border.
Now, if I leave my child somewhere, I'm going to jail.
That's right.
They can bring their kids and drop them off, and they don't get to go.
That's right. That's the hypocrisy of our modern politics. And I'm here to cure that. Get rid of the modern politics of making people expendable.
Yes.
Because each person here and throughout the entire world, that is the most greatest national resource that every government has wasted since the beginning of civilization. And that's a shame.
Yes, definitely.
Hey everyone, my name's John Drake. I am the youngest gubernatorial candidate running. Yeah, and yeah.
So cute.
So my entire homeless plan.
Who's older than him?
So my entire homeless plan consists more than just tackling housing infrastructure, which is very important. The governors of the past 20 years have invested billions into housing, but they haven't invested anything into preventative programs, into drug rehabilitation, and mental health, which are some of the biggest multifaceted parts of homelessness. And the way you solve homelessness is by investing in that drug and mental rehabilitation, and also creating jobs incentive programs so that these people can then get back into the communities and contribute to those communities and rebuild those communities. We're not doing that at all. And that is the biggest problem that we're dealing with right now. As someone who is currently a college student, I am a college student, things like housing, education, and healthcare are things I am trying to deal with in trying to afford things. I've gone days when, or actually months, when I've had to choose between, am I going to eat this month? Or am I going to get the medication I need for me to be able to function? Am I going to be able to afford the food I want to eat, or am I going to not have a place to stay? And that's the thing we have to talk about, and we need someone who actually understands these issues and experiences them to make those decisions, and we're not having that conversation at all. For 50 years in Sacramento, the governors, each and every governor that's been elected for the past 50 years has been a multi-millionaire. And you think that electing another multimillionaire into that position will be able to actually understand and solve those issues? They're not going to, because it's not going to benefit them. If it affects their bottom dollar, they're not going to do it. I support things like the Scandinavian Housing First initiative, where you house homeless people first. You create that infrastructure, because housing homeless individuals actually is cheaper than having them stay on the street and be homeless. Housing people, in my opinion, is a human right, and I support things like raising taxes on wealthier individuals and corporations. The two wealthiest individuals in American society, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, paid nothing at all for the past 3 years in income. Amazon, SpaceX, and even Apple, $1 trillion company, paid nothing. And that's the biggest problem. If we're able to tax them even at 10%, let's say we taxed Apple at 10%, that is $100 billion that can go into affording UBI for every single Californian, allowing them to not just have a home, but allow them to also have money in their pocket to be able to afford things like that are basic necessities, like electricity, other bills, even payment on their car if they choose to. So we need proactive change in that. I believe the way we fundamentally change how we treat homelessness is by actually putting someone who's in those shoes, by someone like one of us who is out here speaking to each and every one of you, because that's not happening. I believe I believe actually the first thing I would probably do if I get elected is that I'm actually going to. Oh, sorry. Continue.
I just have to ask you this.
Yeah.
What qualifications do a person have to have in order to be a governor and be in the position that you're in?
Yes. So the legal qualifications is 18 years old and a citizen of the United States. But as for like expectations of qualifications, I would say I don't think there is one, because here's the. Oh, sorry. Can I finish?
One question and move it.
Oh, I have to give it back?
Finish the question. And
Oh, okay. There's a legal expectation of qualifications, but for me, the state of California has elected rapists, celebrities, multimillionaire, self-interested people, and we're going to expect that someone needs qualifications at the age of 20 to be able to run the state effectively, because just because they're young. I think that emboldens people to actually make real change, because if you have this inconsistency of the standards you're holding someone to, well, then you discourage real change, and every single governor has not had the qualifications necessary to actually implement effective change.
Okay, for each one, okay, because
Yeah.
this is a question that's actually,
Yeah.
to deal with the homeless.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody talks about putting them in housing.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about getting them off of drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, but what tools are you gonna offer
Yes.
to them to get them back into society, back into working, back
Yes.
into school?
Yeah.
Not, okay, we're going to put you in housing.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
going to solve homelessness.
Exactly.
Solving homelessness is when you go in and you start giving them the education